We're talking about really how it is that you people right here that are in that precinct, who are eligible voters, begin to impact the process. And you do that by how you select who you have representing you. Well, in most counties, the fact is that many of the precinct committeemen have been appointed, because there has been such a level of disillusionment, shall I say, or a sense of disenfranchisement. Very few people have actually voluntarily stepped into the place of serving as a precinct committeeman and beginning to garner the points of view and the aspirations of the people in their precinct.
And that's one of the things I've learned this year. I'm new to all of this. I'm a new precinct committeeman. And because the show is called Stupid Politics, and we always have fun, we have added a guest, Christine. I'm going to have Christine real quick tell her name, obviously. And
Hi, I'm Christine Schrock, and I'm a precinct leader as well. And we've been really very busy, and I've been on the phone a lot today too. That's why I'm running a little bit late. But actually, I was told that I could plug somebody if I wanted to, but so I don't know, I might if I get coaxed enough, I guess.
Well, I would really like people to call in. Remember, we're live on Monday, February 16th, 422-8708. Who would you like to run? I mean, are we happy with Steve Shine? I'm new to this process, and one of the things we learned from the state convention is you get a piece of paper with names on it. And what we've tried to do, and we're completely volunteer, is open up the process. We're not trying to say anyone's better or worse. You vote for whoever you want. But we'd like to know everybody that's running and a little bit about themselves, so you're not just voting for a name, you're actually voting for someone that you think represents you. Just like you said, we represent 1,000 people in our precinct. Well, I would like the chairman to represent me, and if they don't, then that's not the person I'm going to vote for. And unfortunately, when you only have one candidate, whether Steve Shine's the right one or not, well, you don't get that opportunity. If he doesn't represent you, you have nowhere else to go. I mean, if he does, I guess you're lucky. But if you don't, then... So I would love to see more people run, just to get involved with the process, to have people have choices. Go ahead.
There's been a lot of changes in Allen County Party as well. And it's really opened up a lot of opportunity. And for people like me to be able to come in, to be a part of it, to learn about it, and actually contribute to the whole process. And I appreciate that opportunity. But a part of it is we need to hear from the leadership that has been in place and people who want to be in place, so that we have a better idea of how the party does run and be able to make decisions on what direction we want to take it. So I think this is a great opportunity, and would love to hear people call in with their opinions.
Who's going to be my first caller? Yeah. I need one. Come on, I know somebody's watching. Be my one caller that calls in. Don't be embarrassed.
Where's that caller that called in here about a half an hour, 45 minutes before showtime, right?
I know it's not what you expected, but this is, with all the things that are going on in our country, we have to stick together.
How do you folks,
we have to find common ground.
How do folks feel about the fact that none of the prospective candidates, given the opportunity of this, actually appeared to answer questions?
Right.
Well, it's a little frustrating, because especially for someone in my position who's trying to learn the process and to learn more about the people, that we don't have the opportunity to talk to them tonight.
You're new to Fort Wayne?
I'm not new to Fort Wayne, but I'm new to actually participating in Allen County.
And so are we, and we're just grassroots, and that's what we've been trying to do almost this whole time.
Wait, Mike. Were you actually under the impression that you were going to have some impact in the selection of the new county chairman?
Well, of course.
Oh my.
See, I'm
trying to provoke somebody.
With the bylaws coming through and that whole process being opened up, it looked like a tremendous opportunity to actually build a bigger and better party with more solid goals and standing on more solid foundations.
Well, don't we all, at least as conservatives, agree that one of the major sources of the debacle of the GOP in the last general election was the fact that for 8 years, we did not have conservatism reigning in the chief executive or in the Congress in a Republican-controlled Congress.
Yes.
What we had was a departure from conservatism and the conservative base. So here we sit. I think all of us around this table are pretty much the conservative base and supporting conservative Republicans. How do you change the direction from the grassroots?
And I want to respond to that, but first we do have our first caller.
Wonderful.
They're not telling me names, so go ahead, caller. You're on Stupid Politics.
All right. Hey, good evening. I'd like to make a few comments. I do agree with you that people need to get involved, and I myself tried to get involved and ran for a precinct committeeman, and I lost by a total of 4 votes, and that's fine. I ran and I lost, but then I, tried to go through the process with our current chairman and asked him and sent him an email, and he did respond back. I said, I understand you can appoint a precinct committeeman. I would like to be appointed a precinct committeeman. Well, he's never responded after that, and I know the reason why, because I've not been a big supporter of his. I understand this is politics. He doesn't want to appoint somebody in there that would likely vote against him, but on the other hand, he does have the opportunity to try and sway me and convince me why he should be the chairman of the Republican Party. But you folks are you're doing something great there. I mean, the party needs to do something to get back on track. We're off our axes, and I don't know where it's going to go. But I do know this: that when you get off your axis, you go back to home base and start over.
He is saying axis.
It is Stupid Politics. You're
no, that's
so
really
right.
all I had to say. But I mean, sometimes I think though politics gets too involved in this, and people do want to get appointed to certain things, and then they're just shoved away because someone doesn't have the fortitude or the aptitude to try and convince them to vote for them. So I'll hang up now. Thank you very much.
Well, I appreciate
Caller,
that.
thank you so much.
Yeah, and I agree with him. People, you do have to take an initiative to make that first step. This group can't do it all for you, and no other group that can do it for you. You have to make the step yourself. If you make the step, you'll get the support. And I think that's kind of one of the things that, we've been trying to explain to the people. I know, for instance, that there's a great guy that is thinking about running, and he has been a little bit conservative because, he's actually being a very gentleman about it all. If there is someone else that has been in the politics longer, he's willing to let that person step up and do it. But
I'll let you plug this person at the end of the show if you want, but I want to hear if anybody has any thoughts before you give.
Well, I'm not giving a name. I'm just saying.
I thought you were. You can.
This
This is a free country for the moment.